Coming up on this edition of UMTV News, a new controversial bill is signed into Florida law.
Plus, President Biden is firming up his stance on the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
And later on, look at the aftermath of some extreme weather conditions in the southern plains of the U.S.
We will have these stories and a lot more in today's edition of UMTV News.
It starts right now.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of UMTV News. I'm Kendall Annalie.
And I'm Annalise Iraola. Thank you for joining us this evening. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has signed a controversial bill restricting certain LGBTQ topics in the classroom. The controversial bill comes after much backlash, and as many feel, the bill will negatively impact an already minority community. Florida's so-called Don't Say Gay measure, as critics have dubbed it, is now law. On Monday, Governor Ron DeSantis appeared defiant at the bill signing, after months of controversy.
I don't care what big corporations say. Here I stand. I'm not backing down.
DeSantis, referencing Disney's condemnation of the bill, which has also sparked student walkouts in some Florida schools. Although it does not specifically ban the use of the word gay, the bill does prohibit instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity in kindergarten through third grade. Supporters argue that the measure gives parents greater oversight over what students learn and discuss at school, and that LGBTQ-related topics should be left for families to discuss at home.
Parents have a fundamental role in the education, healthcare, and well-being of their children.
But opponents say the measure negatively impacts an already marginalized community. So far, at least one LGBTQ rights group, Equality Florida, has threatened legal action against the legislation.
You're clearly singling out, clearly discriminating against in this situation, and we feel it.
Meanwhile, the Trevor Project, a nonprofit that works on suicide prevention among LGBTQ youth, released a statement saying, quote, "LGBTQ youth in Florida deserve better. They deserve to see their history, their families, and themselves reflected in the classroom." The bill's signature is the latest in Florida targeting members of the LGBTQ community. Governor DeSantis previously approved legislation targeting LGBTQ Floridians, including an anti-trans sports ban last year.
It has been just over a month since Russia invaded Ukraine. The Russian Ministry of Defense said Tuesday it has decided to reduce forces in some areas of Ukraine. The move follows another round of peace talks between Russia and Ukrainian delegations in Istanbul on Tuesday. Senior U.S. officials say they have already observed Russia starting to scale back some military operations around the capital city of Kyiv. So far, President Joe Biden is reacting cautiously to these claims, but he did say he does not approve of Vladimir Putin's leadership.
It's clear that Putin's war is an unacceptable to nations in every region of the world, not just Europe, but in every region of the world.
The president says he makes no apologies for saying that Putin should not remain in power. He says it was a voicing of moral outrage following the Ukrainian conflict.
One teenager has died in an accident at one amusement park in Florida. The 14-year-old teen rode the freefall drop tower at Icon Park in Orlando Thursday evening when he came loose from the ride. The ride was dropping down at a speed of about 75 miles per hour from its peak height at 430 feet when the teen fell to his death.
And based on all of our preliminary investigation and information, it appears to be a terrible tragedy, but our investigation is still open. All other aspects of the investigation, as far as the ride itself and the safety of the ride, that's investigated by the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Affairs.
The teen weighed 340 pounds and was 6.5 feet tall, which was over the ride limit. No charges have been filed as of now, and the ride remains closed.
Now to Texas. Numerous wildfires have broken out as very dry and windy conditions continue across the state. More than 700 fires have burned in Texas this month alone. That includes a complex of 3 fires about 100 miles south of Fort Worth. The Forest Service warns that the 30,000-acre fire will continue to burn for days. Red flag warnings are currently in effect from southern Nebraska through the Texas-Mexico border, meaning conditions are favorable for wildfires to spread very quickly. The National Weather Service says there is an extremely critical fire risk for parts of this region today.
On the topic of natural disasters, 3 people are dead after a snow squall in Pennsylvania led to a massive highway crash. According to authorities, heavy fog and snow caused a huge pileup of around 40 vehicles on Interstate 81 Monday morning. Drone footage shows dozens of cars and trucks piled on top of each other and scattered in many different directions. The crash took place about 50 miles west of Allentown. According to the National Weather Service, a warning was sent out across the state in anticipation for the snowstorm and stayed in place until early afternoon. Time for a short break now, but when UMTV returns, we will tell you which teams have advanced to the Final Four in this year's March Madness.
And later on, we will tell you which music festival is back after 2 years. We will be right back.
What to expect when you're expecting.
Like here.
A teenager.
Today, I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys. Preferably somewhere they would never look. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey. Ready for the...
Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
The field of 68 has been cut down to the Final Four as the end of March Madness is approaching. 4 teams remain: Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, and Villanova. But the biggest story of the tournament was the St. Peter's Peacocks. St. Peter's became the first ever 15 seed to make the Elite Eight of the NCAA tournament after defeating 2 seed Kentucky, 7 seed Murray State, and the 3rd seeded Purdue Boilermakers. The win over Purdue set a matchup with the North Carolina Tar Heels, with the winner heading to the Final Four. But time ran out for the Cinderella story as North Carolina dominated from start to finish, eliminating the Peacocks with a 69-49 win Sunday afternoon in Philadelphia. But the story will be remembered forever.
A group of guys came in here. No one gave a chance to. No one believed in, but the people in our locker room and the people in, that's in our program. Administration, us, and made history. They shocked the world. You got guys that's going to be remembered for things that they could tell their kids and grandkids, and it's a story within the story. So I'm super proud of these guys.
St. Peter's run captivated America, bringing national attention to the small school in Jersey City, New Jersey. But in the end, North Carolina stopped the Peacocks' Cinderella run, and now all the attention turns to New Orleans, where Duke and UNC are set to play in the Final Four for the first time ever in their historic rivalry.
As March Madness continues, Canes Hoop loses their battle for a spot in the Final Four. The Canes men's basketball season finally comes to an end after a 76-50 loss to Kansas this past weekend. This was the first time the Canes have made it into the Elite Eight.
Staying right here in Miami, where last week hundreds of thousands of music lovers attended Music Week. This week features artists performing at various different venues throughout the city. And one of the more popular events is Ultra Music Festival. UMTV reporter Jackson Dill checked it out and joins us now live to tell us more on the festival's comeback. Jackson, how was it?
Hey Annalise, what may be considered the largest music event in Miami was back this past weekend. Some estimates say at least 50,000 people attended Ultra this year. I talked to some attendees to hear what they're most excited about and heard about what they looked forward to the most. Musicgoers returning to the Ultra Music Festival in downtown Miami this past weekend, and the excitement surely was there. For Jose Licaro, this was his first time at Ultra, and it definitely won't be his last.
And I was blown away by the production. It's way more than the music. It's actually like the stage, the lights, the people, everyone's like super lovey. The vibe of the people is like something you cannot recreate. It's really organic, and I'm hooked.
Thousands attended the largest music festival in Miami between Friday and Sunday from around the world at Bayfront Park. Popular artists were there, including David Guetta, Alesso, Elenium, and this crowd favorite,
probably Tiesto's Sunset Set. He always kills it every time.
That's true.
Tiesto also. It's my first time here.
So excited to see Ultra. We can't wait to see Tiesto tonight.
The annual event has not been held since 2019 because of the COVID-19 pandemic, so many have looked forward to this year's event more than ever.
We've been waiting 2 years to go to a proper festival again, and the lineup is really good.
Yeah, I've had these tickets since July of 2019, so 3 years later and we're finally here.
And the last time Ultra was in South Florida, it was held at the Miami Marine Stadium on Virginia Key, which caused Ultra traffic congestion because it was on an island. The large crowds this year still caused travel troubles. Many roads in downtown were shut down over the weekend with a large police presence in the area. And the city encouraged attendees to use public transportation, but there was still overcrowding on the Metro movers that caused delays. Despite any issues surrounding the festival, the general consensus was that it was a fun time.
I think I'm never going to be too old for a music festival, just like you said, man.
And most attendees were behaved during this year's festival. Miami police report just 15 deaths during this year, which was likely a record low. Now, ticket sales for next year's Ultra Music Festival are now online as of yesterday, which could be found at ultramusicfestival.com. Ticket sales start at $300, and it'll be happening in late March of 2023. Reporting live for UMTV, I'm Jackson Dill.
Thank you, Jackson. Moving on from one celebration to another, University of Miami students got a chance to celebrate a colorful tradition last weekend to bring in the new season. On Saturday, the university's Indian Student Association hosted its annual Holi Festival, also known as the Festival of Colors. It is the biggest Hindu celebration after Diwali, which is a month-long festival of lights. Holi represents the blossoming of spring after the cold months of winter, symbolizing the victory of good over evil. According to Hindu legend, the demon king's son, Prada, defeated his evil father in Holika by remaining loyal to the god Vishnu. As a matter of fact, the word Holi comes from the name Holika. To celebrate the event, hundreds of students came together to throw colored powder and water while enjoying traditional Indian foods.
The purpose of bringing Holi here is just to share it with the campus culture. It's something that a lot of us do with our families back home, and we want to share it with everyone. I think today's been an amazing success. Everyone loved the food, and I'm sure, as you can see, everyone's having a great time with the powder.
Holi Festival, and it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it looks like a very colorful time.
And let me tell you, my camera also got destroyed in all the powder, but I guess it is what it is.
We will take a short break now, but there's a lot more to come on UMTV News.
Oscar Sunday was a night to remember. We'll tell you who stole the show, both good and bad.
Plus, one food festival has made its way to Miami. Our reporter Lauren Cruz-Deval will tell us more about the weekly eats. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
I didn't talk about it. I was told not to talk about it. So I'm here to talk about it.
Because I can't stay quiet.
I was able to break my silence.
Because of those who refuse to stay quiet.
I am a businesswoman.
Activist.
Survivor.
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 Thank you for staying with us. It was a night marked by film golden trophies, high-end fashion, and a punch that is taking Hollywood by storm. Sunday was the 94th Annual Academy Awards. For the first time in over 35 years, the ceremony had three hosts, Regina Hall, Wanda Sykes, and Amy Schumer. Denis Villeneuve, OOV's film Dune, won the most trophies with 6, including Best Original Score, Best Production Design, and Best Visual Effects. The big winner for the evening was the Apple TV film Coda. The coming-of-age flick about a predominantly deaf family took home Best Picture and Best Supporting Actor for Troy Kotsur, who is deaf.
This is dedicated to the deaf community, the Coda community, and the disabled community. This is our moment.
This marked the first ceremony back at the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles since 2020. The Academy Awards will return in 2023 for its 95th edition.
And the Oscars were a great reminder that anything can happen on live TV. The award show had many highlights, but also one very low light. Comedian Chris Rock cracked a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaven head, and it did not land well with her or her husband. Will Smith shocked the audience when he walked on stage and slapped Rock in the face, after which he yelled some profanities at the comedian. Smith later explained that he reacted this way because he considered Rock to make fun of his wife's bald head. Pinkett Smith shaved her head amid struggling with alopecia, which is a medical condition which causes hair loss. Smith had apologized to the Academy and to Rock on social media. It's unclear whether Will face any repercussions for the outburst.
From New York to California, the food festival Smorgasbord has finally made its way to Miami. This event features food vendors from around the nation selling anything from Jamaican beef patties to s'mores-infused ice cream. Reporter Lauren Cruz-Deval attended the festival and now joins us live. Lauren, how is Smorgasbord and why should Miamians visit it?
Thanks, guys. I went to Smorgasbord this past Saturday and it was awesome. The event was even free of charge as opposed to other foodie events in Miami. This event offered tasteful music, delicious food, and handcrafted art from a variety of vendors.
Smorgasbord is not only an option for New Yorkers and Californians anymore. The food festival is finally opening its doors to Floridians. Smorgasbord originally started in 2011 from Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and has thus far traveled to the West Coast and now the Panhandle. Located in Wynwood, Miami's art district, Smorgasbord Miami began on March 12th, opening its doors to foodies and adventurers alike to try a wide variety of food at a low cost.
The vendors themselves are extremely talented. So couple that with the fact that there's a lot of New Yorkers coming to Miami, a lot of California coming to Miami, it was a good time to host it. And to be honest, there wasn't anything like this in Miami either. So that's why we chose Miami.
One business owner from New York is excited to see if Miami could be a new spot for Navas, an authentic empanada restaurant.
I mean, for us, the route that we take is we do these festivals in different cities, and if it goes well, then we open permanent locations. And then, so that's what we did in New York, and hopefully we'll do the same here in Miami.
The event has attracted people far and wide for a wide variety of food today.
Yakitori boys, that was good. Drinking barbecue, unbelievable. Sando.
Bobo tea.
Tried out what were those, the beef things, spicy beef?
The best patties.
Unbelievable stuff. You don't get that type of food in Ireland, I gotta tell you.
62 vendors showed up this past Saturday for attendees to try out. The event brought in customers from all over Miami to taste food from an assortment of ethnic backgrounds.
Smorgasbord is open every Saturday in Wynwood from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. for anyone looking for free entry into a foodie's paradise. For customers with dietary restrictions, there are also many options to try. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Lauren Cruz-Deval.
And speaking of food, home-cooked meals are hard to find in college, but one student organization has the perfect place to bring tasty recipes from homes to the UM campus. Our reporter Isabel Nakash joins us now live with more. Izzy?
Thanks, Annalise. I had the chance to attend UCook's third event of the semester. Lebanese students brought a slice of home to UM's campus through recipes and culture. And let me tell you, the food was spectacular. Everyone agrees that there's nothing better than a home-cooked meal. But college students struggle to find time and energy to cook after a long day of class.
We basically cook together.
University of Miami student Isabella Paez has been the president of UCook for the last 3 years.
UCook is the cooking organization at the University of Miami. We try to get together like all students who share a passion for food basically by hosting different events.
Cooking together allows students to bring a taste of home, just like freshman Joya Lahoud.
My love of cooking came from eating so many yummy Lebanese foods and especially in Lebanon and coming back here and not having it. I really wanted to recreate it, and that's kind of how I got in the kitchen for the first time.
Joya's mother sent her 4 of her favorite and most traditional recipes to lead the cooking of a Lebanese-inspired meal. Each student was given a task and paid a fee of $10 to participate in this week's UCook event. After a few hours of hard work in the kitchen, students got to enjoy their meal, which included za'atar pita bread, homemade hummus, fattoush salad, and chicken kebabs. Students cooking together and bringing tasty recipes from their homes to UM's college campus creates closer bonds and helps build lifelong memories. That is exactly what UCook strives for and will continue to do. The food was delicious. UCook will announce their next event on its Instagram page. If you would like to join the organization, they're accepting new members for just a fee of $10. I'm Izzy Nakash, reporting for UMTV.
Thanks, Izzy. That looks like a really fun time. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us for UMTV News.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Annalise Iraola.
And we'll see you next week edition of UMTV News.